the conclusions were that I feel I was holding the stick a bit way too back. Okay, just bear with me. So, so for example, like if I have the flag over here, I used to have actually my middle finger over here, whereas my sticks were there. And what I've noticed, and I've been doing that for a while, and I just noticed that because I felt that my middle finger was a bit back on the stick, that ultimately my fulcrum was gearing more towards these two fingers than actually my middle finger. So even just by going from this to this here already makes a huge difference, because now I can basically feel it a lot more bouncing on my middle finger, whereas the other two fingers are there more to support the stick. That has been my conclusion.
Okay, well, it's cool that first of all you're on a search, right? That's kind of the gig. We've all been through that search. Anyone who's serious about getting it together technically, probably with any technique, not just this technique, you have to. It's a deep dive. This technique is a particularly deep dive. You know, people would study with Richard Wilson for 30 years. It's not that you didn't already perhaps understand essentially what's going on, but he'd just take you on these paths from a musical perspective as well. And it's kind of addictive. Once you get it, it's like, you know, you got a drumstick in the shower, you know, the drumstick on the dashboard. Everywhere you look, there's a drumstick, because you never know, right? I told you about that story of the famous drummer playing on, you know, on the china, on the table at a really fancy restaurant. And it didn't matter whether or not the rest of the patrons liked it or didn't, you know. He was just like, gotta play, gotta play. So, but you know, so that's cool. But let's talk about what you're saying. And so let me think about that. Not that I don't essentially have a formulated idea already, but let's see. So the first thing, when you were showing me, see, I'm not sure what you're saying is true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. First thing, when you were showing me where you were, wherever it is that you decide to hold the stick, it seemed like you were thinking, now maybe you were just demonstrating and trying to show me a positioning relative to some marking on your stick. But it looked like your concept was that the stick rested on the pad of the middle finger. You were kind of on the flat of the middle finger, but really you create a cradle.
Oh yeah, I was just demoing, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure, because just do this with me.
Yeah.
You do that. Take all the other fingers off.
Yeah, no, I did that not there.
No, I know, but I'm really exaggerated. I want you to feel what I'm going to take your fourth off. It'll hurt a little. It's a little weird. Look how straight one. Look how straight one. Straighten your fourth out. Your fifth is per. Yeah. Whoa. Right. That's what I'm doing. It's a little strenuous to hold that fourth out. It doesn't really want to go. Yeah. But it really identifies. There's the fulcrum. Okay. And the butt end is resting on the palm. So in that sense, there's a countervalence, right? You can feel that. Otherwise, the stick would just go woo, right? Not a Freddie Gruber thing.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. That's just some kind of stop. Okay. So there's that. Now, let's see. look, I'm all the way back. But things do change. See, that shouldn't matter. I mean, there is probably there's an area where you clearly it doesn't want to bounce as much back here. I have to bend. This is Richard Martinez. I have to bend deeper if I'm further back on the stick.
Correct.
But it shouldn't affect the fulcrum.
No, it doesn't affect the fulcrum. It's just that you feel that it does bounce more, right?
Right. But how do you get it to bounce to the same extent, even though you're holding it further back? How would you make that adjustment? What happens when you're up here?
Yeah.
What happens way up here? Has a certain kind of feeling in the hand that the countervalences are different, so that as I move back, look, I'm still getting it to bounce the same, but my hand is opening up more.
Correct.
I'll show you. This is cool because with this technique, it really is, in a sense, it's very simple, and yet there's probably all of these equations that actually work out that would describe exactly what's happening. It is math, right? But so if let's see, this pad, the rubber has died over the years, so that it's not very bouncy. Let's see. There it is there. See, I'm opening a little more?
Yeah.
A little more of a follow through. It's bouncing just as much. Sound has changed a little.
Yeah, but you feel it. So I do feel when it's on the back, you feel it more on the two fingers.
No. No.
I do.
Well, then you're not feeling what I'm feeling. See? It's not about that. The fulcrum is the fulcrum is the fulcrum. It never changes. Even if I'm back here, look. But look how much I have to follow through. It's different, right? It's going to be different than less of a follow through. Even less of a follow through. The fulcrum is always right here. Right here. Doesn't go away. My hand now has to behave a little bit differently. I have to allow the hand to open to counter. There's countervalence going on. Right? So because there's more weight up front, I have to adjust. Means it's more of a follow through. I spend enough time at the surface so I get 2 rebounds, and then I do it again. Right? So it does change. So your thinking was askew, which is it's totally cool. It's like I can see where you're coming, but no, the fulcrum shouldn't change. That's why I can crawl up and down the stick, you know. Even though I'm not using the fulcrum for rebounds, I know where the fulcrum potential is. It doesn't matter. Okay. Even for singles, we'll always have a fulcrum, man. It's a really big deal. So this is going to be a good lesson for you because you're developing better fulcrum awareness, right? It's like, what parts of these techniques do I have to think of to get this? Well, I'll tell you one of the big important parts, the fulcrum. You'll never get this if you don't have a fulcrum.
Of course.
you'll never feel, well, so we have to have a fulcrum. We have to have a wrist turn, because it's the wrist is applying the force to the lever arm so that it can rock over said fulcrum, okay? So now we'll investigate this. Yeah, go ahead and try it. Play doubles and hold the stick further up. Yeah, just in the right. I'm sorry, just mimic. No, move up on the stick even further.
It's very high.
That's fine. Real bouncy, isn't it, when you're holding it that, right? Because, see, what we're dealing with is we're dealing with a fulcrum, and what we're looking for isn't to have it perfectly balanced. We want, and look how little it takes just to affect the stick. See, if I just move it, look, this much. Now it's going to go.
Yeah.
That much.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're looking for is a point of imbalance. Okay, so once again, you're directing the energy to the fulcrum as you turn. Go ahead. Don't choke up on it. I want you to feel just two notes. Back. Listen how I get da 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 da, not da da. The second note is longer than you think. Playing by ear now, aren't you? You really have to spend the right amount of time at the surface. There's just a certain amount of follow through. Let it bounce multiple times. Yeah, here's another example of where you're staying at the surface longer and following through more than you would if you were only playing two notes. Feel the difference. Play two notes. Now play multiple rebounds, like 5. See how you stay at the surface. Now play two notes and move back on the stick. It'll be akin to the idea of you have to follow through all that weight. You feel it?
Yeah, of course.
Play multiple rebounds. Now choke up on the stick. There'll be less of a follow through. I mean, choke up, and I don't mean tighter. I mean, move forward on the stick considerably to really feel it. Now multiple rebounds. Oh, no, it's just 5. Sorry, just 5. Now back up on the stick. Feel how to get 5, you're going to have to follow through a little more. But I don't know. I don't want a big weird look. I don't want a big weird thing. I just want you to just be at the surface longer. Recognize that there's a different kind of countervalence required. Okay, so, but the fulcrum doesn't change. See, backing up on the stick doesn't change the fulcrum. The fulcrum remains the same, and so the hand has to behave differently or adjust, not behave differently. It's the same mechanics moving as it would for fewer rebounds or for being further up on the stick. But it's going to have to make adjustments in terms of how long you stay at the surface, how much follow through is required. But the hand is always going to behave in the same way. How much of the system do you need to engage to exact the countervalence? Okay, so it's good though. So that should help. And that was pretty good. Not too bad. You're doubled. That's all it is. You're just turning your wrist. Just play one note. Maintain the thought. Where are you thinking about the fulcrum right now? Tell me. Show me. I mean, point to it.
Oh, more on the big finger, if I'm honest.
Well, remember, we can imagine the fulcrum. We can imagine the fulcrum in different places within the parameters of this 3-finger grip. We could even imagine it first finger and thumb. Or we could imagine it further back, somewhere in between. Remember the Carlos Vega idea? He thought that the fulcrum was somewhere in between the 3 fingers.
Probably is.
And then we could imagine it being even further back on the middle finger. I suggest, typically, it's the Carlos fulcrum that I'm thinking of. Somewhere right in between that 3-finger grip. Okay?
Probably is, yeah.
Well, it is if that's where you decide to send the energy. You're sending the force directly through that fulcrum. Yeah. So if you're just going to play one note, that fulcrum doesn't go away. One note, 2 notes. One note, 2 notes. One note, 2 notes. One note, 2 notes. See, 2 notes. It does have a bit of a rubber pencil-y thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so go and play one note and get comfortable thinking about the fulcrum. No, just play one note for a second and concentrate on where you're going to decide to put your fulcrum. Now turn that into 2 notes. Focus on that fulcrum. Not bad. Okay, cool. Now let's put this into practico. We're working on the Flam top. We're on page 10 of the Murray Spivack Percussion Studio Library. I wasn't at the original. I think I was probably at the second or third iteration of Murray Studios, across from the farmer's market, like an old 1950s building. You know, with the glass, as the staircase goes, as the stairs go upward, or you get on an elevator, that you just hope that it gets you to where you want to go, because it feels that old and rickety, you know. I hope I make it out alive. Okay, so yeah, and you could hear the people next door. Yeah, it was like Murray was a kind of, you know, 8 in the morning I would pick him up, and he'd be dressed in a suit and tie, shoes polished, the whole thing. And next door there was some phone sex company. And Murray would just laugh about it. What am I here? What is it? I know. It was part of the charm. Okay? I know. So, okay. Let's keep going here. So we were looking at the Flam tap.
Yeah. Okay.
And so what did you get that up to? Did you get that up to 60?
Yep.
How does it look at 60? Let me hear it. Let me see. How are you thinking about the placement of the up? Or how are you thinking about, or maybe there's no, how are you thinking about this? This is why we separate the hands. So that's all that's happening is this, right?
Yeah.
See how it looks? You're playing it different ways, you know. Here's how I'm thinking about it. I'm throwing for 2.
Yeah.
And I make it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay. So just throw for 2 and make your up. Let me try. Stay there.
Yeah.
Don't come away from that fixed point in the universe.
It's not.
Okay. Good. Do it again. Wait. To do it again, you have to come back down to make your throw.
Oh.
Oops. Sorry. Up. Throw. Up. Throw. Down. Now watch. The timing. I don't spend much time like this, do I? I don't spend much time like this. Watch. Oh, look, I just threw from here. I didn't come back down. You can throw from here. You see, you've gone up. But to get the real feeling of it, you'd want to do the whole thing. So watch how much time I spend at the surface. Sorry, how much time I spend pronated. Just watch and feel it. It keeps flowing. It keeps flowing. See it? It's like the wave. Okay, now you're not rebounding. Check it out. You're really, you weren't rebounding. Watch. It's cool. Check it out. Just throw for 3. Okay? Your wrist doesn't have to turn every time. That's the whole gig. We don't want to be going. We want to go. Okay? It's letting it bounce. Letting it bounce, not going, watch. Just take this in. Just take this in. We want it to bounce, not to do this. Not to go. Watch. Not.
I know that.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Feel the difference. See if you can do both. Go, da, 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 da.
You want wrist now?
Yeah, da, 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 da. That's me. Da, 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 da. Now so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're throwing for 5. Yeah, there. Keep doing that. You can do it that way, can you? You're not going to be able to go very fast. Or maybe, I don't know how fast you could be, like, it's a lot of work. Now instead of moving your wrist 5 times, just throw it down once and let it bounce. Different. That's what I'm trying to get. More of that. Okay? Do it again. Focus on. Put the metronome back on at 60. It's coming along. But we don't want the wrist turning for each note. We throw it down once, we get 2 notes, and then we make an up. Bouncy. And yeah. Okay, put the hands together. You can focus on that. Now with the other hand as well. Where's your fulcrum? Where's your fulcrum? Don't lose your fulcrum. I'm not saying you are. I'm just reminding you. It's that important. Go ahead and play it now. Put the hands together. It's like you're using the momentum of the throw, right? We're catching the momentum of the throw. Right? The energy goes up using that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Put the metronome up to 72. Let's see how it looks. I'm just worried. I don't think you're really throwing. Watch. See how it looks? See how flat my hand looks while it's bouncing? Watch my run. Watch. Look at my hand. Just look at my hand. When I see yours bouncing, I see. What are you doing? Oh, this. Your hand looks like this while it's bouncing. I can see this angle. Mine looks like that. I land like this. Make a downstroke. See how you land flat? Do it again. It's good. Do it again. You're nice and flat. Yeah. Now land flat and let it bounce. No, you don't. No, watch. I land flat and it bounces. I don't have to be bent forward. To the extent that you are, I don't think. It's just slightly. Watch. Look how little it's bent forward and then flattens out completely. Yeah. See now I'm seeing more of a throw. A throw, not doing this. You're kind of playing from the bicep. I don't really see this part of it. But remember the up you made? Watch. You have that up. That's the feeling. You got to get that position and throw it again. It's not about pumping your forearm. Keep doing it. Good. Play 72. I want to see honest to goodness throws. It means you have to. Okay, let's come up to 80. Let's see what it looks like. Center of the sound source. It gets harder if it gets faster, I know. But look. I don't see you starting to lose this. Watch how this doesn't go away. Just watch. See how this doesn't go away. Watch. Look, Ralph. Even as it speeds up, it doesn't go away. I'm always going like this. Do this with me. wagging dog. God. Yeah, you got to get to here. No, look. I'm exaggerating it. We could do it like this too. We could do it like this. Make bigger like that. But I want to see this. You're just holding your arms up. Okay, let's slow it down a little. This is hard to do. I want you to know that. It's serious. 3-finger grip when you go up. 3-finger grip. Come on up here with me. Take the other fingers off. Don't point your first finger. First finger's got to hold, right? Is it holding? Come on, hold it with the first finger.
Yeah.
And the middle finger. Good. And do that. That's what you're not doing. As it speeds up. Yeah, you see how you just come on up and get the gooseneck. Murray would complain that Richard's students came in with a gooseneck. Dick was making sure that students weren't doing what you're doing, which is essentially not really throwing. See, it's too flat. It's flat. You're just pushing. You're just doing this. Watch. It's kind of hot. Watch. Yeah, instead of right. Then you watch Vinnie how that looks. You can really get that going. Yeah. 3-finger grip. There you go. All the way down, and you stop every time, and then you start again. Down, 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 down. And then you can start to really get up and down motions happening, you see. Now, but what I want you to exaggerate this part and then make sure you come all the way down. All the way down. Play on the shank, just for fun.
Huh?
Play on the shank when you come down. Yeah, for fun. There you go. See, you have to come all the way down. There, more like that. See how flat? Now. The bend on the way up, the pronation on the way up, and then you come all, there you go. You can get the bottom of the bead, not quite hit the shank. It's just a butterfly's wings distance different. Just a tiny, tiny bit what you're doing. That was good. That's it, right? Now you're feeling that. Oh, we just want to lock that in. Can you, yeah, let's see, you want to come all the way down. The big bend on the way up, and then you come all the way down. If it speeds up, you can't lose that. Okay, you're starting to get there. Yeah, it's more flexible. Up, come up, there you go. Up, there you go. All the way, there it is. Good, good. Okay, so you're up to 80. We're gonna work, we'll work from like 52 up to 80. Good. Okay. Now, once you get one part of this relative to a particular stroke, now we're just going to migrate that one part, if it exists in the following stroke, and it probably will in some form or other, because Murray would create that continuity. So now we've got the Flam tap. Let's go to the next stroke. This was triplet. Now what are we doing? What? Sorry. Oops, wrong stroke. Now we're doing this. Now, but it's still watch. It's gotta have that flexibility all the way down. Getting too flat, too flat, too flat, too flat. Let's get back what you just had with the other stroke. So it's all it is. So is your metronome on?
So I think we said 60.
Yeah, put it on at 60. In fact, put it on at 52. know it's hard, it's slow tempo. I'm challenging you right now. I want to see it bounce. Just do that. You watch, Raph. Watch how the thing flies off the surface. See, and I'm throwing it down with some force, aren't I? Watch. But it's not tight. And it goes pop and pops up. I'm not saying this part of it. Do this with me. Do this. Well, sorry. Do that. No. Come on. It. The stuff that's new to you. It's cool. Let it bounce up. No. Now I'm not turning my wrist up, am I? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just allowing the stick to move the finger. It's going to open up, and you're going to end up here. Feel the bounce. You throw it down, and it bounces up. Do it again. Mine comes all the way. Look. Look. Do it again. Feel it bounce up. Throw it down harder. Give it some juice. Yeah, throw it down so it bounces.
So,
Go ahead and ask. Yeah, what were you going to ask?
I was gonna ask, because then the fingers don't go with the stick, right? Do they? You see, like this.
Yeah, we had to do. Go ahead.
You can't lose the grip here.
You mean up front in the guide?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't lose the grip. It's firm, comfortable, and constant. So it'll swivel through that area, won't it? Remember, there's this path that it. Watch. There's a path that it always follows. It always follows a particular path.
Yeah.
And if your hand isn't tight, yeah, it'll bounce up. You weren't feeling that. You were really feeling there. Now let it that what? Now. Yeah, let it bounce up and then come back. Don't go lifting up. Why are you lifting up at the end? Yeah, you need to be at the surface. Oh, no. And then bring it off the watch. And then bring it back to parallel. Yeah, it's bouncing. And look, you've got a nice pronation. You're coming down to the floor for your throw. That's what it is. There, it's all bouncy now, and you feel, yeah. Now, it's not going to happen that much if you're playing here.
My question is, it's just when I'm striking, it can explain this. It can go here, but sometimes it goes a bit away from the stick. You see, instead of just being here.
That's what it should do.
Yeah, I get that, but sometimes with the force, it kind of pushes away from the finger, from the guide.
Well, that means that your guide isn't stable.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Right? So we really want it in that first knuckle of the first finger, not on the pad. That's right. Look, watch. It's a little harder to do. You have to hold on a little more up front. But right, it's going to travel through here. There it is with just the first finger. No, look, first finger and thumb. Look. Try it. You won't be able to throw quite as hard. No, take your other fingers off. Just the guide. Come on, bend this knuckle. No. Bend. So what Dick had me do, you're two up on the tip. You're on the tip on the pad, which is what I thought was happening in your phone. Yeah, come on. Really, take the other fingers off, like I had you do at the beginning of the lesson. Yeah, spread them out, take them off. There it is. Come on, no, don't point your fingers. You go. See, you're pointing your fingers. You go up. The first finger. They don't do anything, do they? They just stay like this. They don't change. Yeah, this knuckle doesn't straighten out. There it is. Yeah, but don't lift up at the end. Like that. Yeah, there you go. So now put the middle finger on. Still a narrow fulcrum. And it's going to move the middle finger a little bit. We'll do that. There you go. Maintain the grip up front. Think about where the fulcrum is. Where are you deciding the fulcrum is going to be? Carlos? Yeah, man, there you go. Okay, now go ahead and play the stroke with that in mind. See if you can do it. You have a question?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, yeah. It's just sometimes just the stick kind of tries to get away from the first knuckle and into the second knuckle, you know?
Well, isn't it Virgil Donati who likes to hold it in the next knuckle? And every once in a while, you'll catch Buddy where it starts to slide somewhere in between the two knuckles. You guys maybe, you know, it's slightly bastardized 3-finger grip, but if you really have it together, you don't need to. It's good, man. You're starting to feel the bounce. Yeah, see, the force, the pad has force as well, doesn't it? And when we send the energy, enough force from the wrist, which essentially is about the muscles in front of the elbow, we send force to the lever arm, and then the force from the surface reacts and the body countervails in just the right way. You don't need to do anything. Just ask for as many rebounds as you want. Hit the surface until you've got the rebound. And don't turn this into a wholly major big deal. But now just play and feel that bounce come up. That's good. Give it a good throw on the left so it'll bounce. That's good, Ralph. There you go. It's bouncing now. There it is. There it is. On the other hand, you're right. Pretty good at it now. Come on, give it more force. Come on, no, give me a good throw. Don't give me some flat thing. I want to throw. I want to throw. Keep those other fingers away. They'll muck up that what you're just feeling for the first time, really. There you go. See, you can get it to bounce at this tempo. I know it's not easy. A good throw with both hands. So you send some energy towards the pad, which will provide the force necessary to promote rebound. Good. Now put the metronome up to where are you? 52. Put it up to 60. There it is. Come on, let's bounce on the left. Oh man, much better. Go put it up to 72. 72. Don't forget to give me an honest to goodness throw. None of this shoving flat arm thing. I want to see this. Give me some more goose. Give me the gooseneck. Come on, give me the gooseneck. I really want to see this pronation. There it is. Let that stick bounce. It'll be so easy. Fulcrum, fulcrum, fulcrum. There you go. Put it up to 80. The stick is starting to come up, become animated. Becomes almost like a living, breathing. It takes on some of our own life force. Come on, no, left isn't bouncing, and you know it. And come on, bounce. Let it pop up when it lands. There! Oh man. Yes. Good. Very good. There you go. Now you're starting to feel the rebound. You're starting to feel fulcrum. You're starting to feel, because really, even though we're making a throw, it really is all wrist. It's all wrist. Right? Good. Much better. Now, I don't want to run out of time, so we're going to take that because really what we're doing with the Swiss triplet. So you're 52 to 80 with both strokes now, and your other stroke's going to get much better because you're going to bring what you just got with this. Isn't this cool how the strokes teach you shit? Pardon me. Teach you great stuff for the kids out there watching. Sorry about that. All we're doing when we play a Swiss triplet is it's just two notes. It's just two notes, and in this case, we're throwing for them. They could be doubles too, couldn't they? Or we could just turn our wrist. So, what's happening there? Da, 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 da. Well, we played the Swiss triplet at 52. Yeah, put the metronome on at 52. Slow. Again, I'm challenging you. I'm not going to make this easy for you because remember, slow rebounds help develop fulcrum. So it should be harder. Okay, now you see you got that bouncy thing. Now just instead of throwing, just turn your wrist for it. Ah, look at that. Let it bounce multiple times. Let it bounce up and rock over the fulcrum. There you go. See? Bounce, isn't it? Relax your arm and turn your wrist. Okay, metronome at 52, play doubles. With a substantial wrister. Turning upward. Enough so that you can really feel the wrist turning. Oh, can't stop it. Watch. Raph, that's changing, isn't it? And it was better, but I'll show you. If you're too tight, that middle finger doesn't understand that it doesn't really need to do anything. If you could just leave it alone, you'll get this. What did you do? Because it's coming up, and because you're too tight, it comes back down too quickly. Stay with me. Stay with me. So we don't want this. We want this.
Yeah.
Okay. We want watch. See? I don't choke it. See? It really, even slowly, it's pretty slow, right? Not holding it too tight. I'm not allowing the stick to be free. Careful the left. Popping down too quickly. Let it come up. Let it come up more in the left. Come on, let it come up. There it is. Up. We don't want rough. I want you to use your ears. We don't want da da ba da. We want ba da 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 da. There it is. There it is. Remember, you're applying a certain amount of force. The more force, in other words, the higher you turn, the more force is applied to the sound source, the pad in this case, right? Therefore, there's going to be more of a kickback because you're turning higher. Watch.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's it. I told you, it's kind of like math. Stay with me for a second.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get this for you. See, if I turn up here, it really wants to kick back.
Of course.
By only turning here, it doesn't want to kick back. It doesn't, and it doesn't. Now you have proportion. Before there was no rhyme or reason to what you were doing. Right? Now you're going to find that if I turn higher, the stick is going to kick back more. I don't want to stop that. I don't want to work. Remember, this technique is about controlling the rebound. Now turn higher and feel it kick back. Come on, turn higher. Higher. Come on, don't stop it from kicking. Just 2 notes. 2 notes, turn high. Don't crush it. Let it bounce up. Yeah, it should come up high. The kickback will send the stick up higher relative to how much force you've applied. Come on, stay on the floor. Don't lose your floor. Come on, throw it, turn your wrist and let it kick back. There, feel it kick back? 2 notes. Yeah, kicks back. Oh, don't stop the kickback.
Yes.
Now turn less. Good, now turn less. There's less of the kickback. But don't stop it. Don't let go up front. It'll manage that stick up front as well. Rocking over a narrow fulcrum, somewhere in that 3-finger grip. There you go. Okay, now move the metronome. Good, now put the metronome and make it easier for you. Put it up to 60. First you have to decide how high you're going to turn, right? So let's turn that high. Don't mess up the kick. It's too tight to the left. You're not letting it kick up enough. There it is. Better. Turn higher. Turn higher. Let it kick up more. It's going to kick up more. Let it kick up more. Don't inhibit it. Turn even higher. What is it? Watch mine. Watch it kicking back. Try and get it for you. My left isn't as trained. I never lose the motion. You don't lose that. But now you see, now you're seeing it. You can actually see it now that you've felt it yourself and recognized it. So metronome up to 72. Let's see how it looks. Turn up nice and high. See how high I was turning? Just play singles. Prove to yourself how slow it really is. No, just the motion. You think it's faster, I know, some part of you. That's why you did that, I think. But yeah, that's how it is. Think the fulcrum, and you know when you get to the surface, if you don't constrict or constipate the process. Now remember, there's some of that feeling here too. Even right, watch. Don't play yet. Don't play. See, I don't inhibit this part either. I let it comes away a little bit. See, you don't inhibit. You don't inhibit when it lands for the feel to allow for rebounds. You also don't inhibit it when you come up. Go ahead and do it again. Don't inhibit your singles. On the way up, it's going to have that free feeling, a little bit like we're experiencing with the kickback. That thing looks better, doesn't it? There you go. See? It's more free. Now let it bounce. You'll feel the freedom coming up this way, and then it'll kick back. There you go. There you go. 5-stroke roll. Good, Raf. Let it be free on the way up. On your singles. Don't choke it on the way up on your. Good, good. 5-stroke roll. Come on. You can do it. Now you got to get that nice. Give me the gooseneck. See, when you throw, you're not restricting it. Remember the idea of let it fly? Yeah, man. There. Much better. Cool. That was a good lesson. It wasn't a great lesson, but it was a good lesson. Old Woody Allen joke. The punchline is, and then he punched me in the face. That's how that ended up. Beautiful, man. Okay, you're coming along.
Thank you, Kevin.
Right? It takes a minute. Patience, perseverance, and sometimes, you know, you have to, in a sense, maybe even quell your intelligence, you know, because it can sometimes get in the way. We just want to kind of meditate on these things. We don't, it's cool because you're thinking about stuff, fulcrum this, or if I'm further back, that's the head exploring. And then you connect that to the body feeling. You felt the stick recoiling. Would that be a recoil? In other words, you could feel the stick responding to the force from the surface. And you were then able to manage it. So that's a matter of the mind and body connecting so that there's a perfect synergy. Is that what it is? Right? There is a oneness within. Is that the third eye? Maybe you grew a third eye today.
Maybe.
Good job.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're very welcome. Turning off the recording.
Yeah, so